Alright, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who was worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutation to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for the love of the gospel. Alright, it's the brother Gabar here from the Indiana camp. I got to my side the brother
Kaya.
Alright, and we're from the GMS Indianapolis. Alright, to come back at you again with another sit down. Alright, so brother, you got it.
Yeah, well, last night, me and the brother, we was just talking, just having a conversation, and the spirit had the brother accidentally say the name ITR, and it was like, well, let's go to their page, let's see what's going on, you know. So we end up going to their page, and lo and behold, more madness. But we gonna use that to through the spirit of the Lord to edify. But Baba Kushak, could you go to their page real quick? Because I don't remember exactly what was their subject matter. I just remember the scriptures that came to mind through the spirit.
Yeah, it seems like it was the infamous Deuteronomy 28 chapter, the curses in quotation marks.
Right, now they said infamous, okay? Now, can you look up the definition of the word infamous?
Okay.
All right, because Deuteronomy 28, it ain't infamous.
Etymology?
It don't matter. Well, it don't matter because the prefix "in" mean not.
Okay.
Or the opposite of, so to speak.
I got infamous in etymology. Basically means not well known. A ill repute, famous for
ill repute, basically a bad reputation,
yep,
so to speak.
It says famous for badness.
Yeah, famous for badness, famous for evil. So you're famous, but in a negative way. Go ahead.
Of ill fame.
Of ill fame. All right, now so basically, Deuteronomy 28 is famous in a positive way. Why? Because that is a core. That is a core concept in the scriptures that lets us know who the Israelites are today.
It's a sign.
It's a with that being said, Deuteronomy 28:45.
Okay.
That's where I was going next. So it ain't infamous, it's famous. All right.
Now this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 45. It says moreover all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Right, and who doing that? Okay, what group of people? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, who as a whole, who are worse off than them? Okay, and they're trying as far as people that's trying. All right, because the Lord said what? He said because do it say because you serve me not for the one of all things in that verse?
That is two verses down.
All right, can you read that part? Then we'll jump back.
It says, because thou serve not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
Right, so our people do everything else for the abundance of all things. All right, they take on the so-called white man's philosophy. They take on the philosophy and knowledge of any other heathen nation where they round and about. All right, so you can say what you want to say. All people been in slavery. All people this and that. All people this and that and the third. But what people more so? And on top of that, because we know it's our people that's more affected by these curses than any people on the world. On top of that, the scripture also talks about being hated of all nations. So on top of being at the bottom of the totem pole, you also hate it. All right. So go back to read 46 now, please.
It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right. So these curses are upon us for a sign. All right. The slavery, All right, we borrowing and not lending. All right, the broken homes, the father leaving the house, because that's prophesied too. The woman and because you can talk about the other nations how well, these people are poor and these people are this, that, and the third. But what about the broken homes? What about the woman and the male being at odds and against each other? That eye being evil towards each other. That's most prevalent in so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American society. Got it.
Gang violence and the people who are locked up in prison houses. You know, scriptures talks about that, man. You know, who are majority of the people that you see in prison houses. All right. Yep. I mean that's even if you don't even want to, if you want to take the Bible out of it, that's what majority of Latinos and blacks. Yep. You know, that's evident. You know. Yeah. You go into the jailhouses. This what it's predominantly blacks and Latinos. That's not by happen chance. That's not just some old coincidence, you know. And it's not coincidental that and I will always wonder, even when I was little, that why can Latinos say the N-word but no other nation can't say the N-word? Mm-hmm. You know, you got Puerto Ricans and Mexicans talking to niggas like they niggas. You know. Yeah, nigga this and nigga that, man. Nigga, I'll beat your fucking ass, nigga. You know, I'm looking like, well, these Mexicans, how come they can say it? But a Chinese, a Chinese get their ass beat if they say it. Arab would get his ass beat if he says it. A so-called white man get his ass beat if he says it. Why can no other nation can't say it? But yet, Latinos can say it, man. Because there's some, because blacks and Latinos, so-called blacks and Latinos, has some type of brotherly connection right there, and they can see it, you know. When gang violence, when shit, it's always some type of brotherly connection right there, man. All right, so not all the curses is gonna fit one specific side to the T, you know. But in a dramatic whole nation, they're gonna fit majority on that nation. Yeah. You know, like there's some curses that fits majority on the northern kingdom than thus for the more than the southern kingdom. Yeah. All right.
And vice versa.
And vice versa,
like
man.
The nigga woman being bald.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you know, like Isaiah 3. Mm-hmm. And also, like the scripture says, their spirit identify with our spirit, that we are the children of the living power. That's why you got different, they got like, you know, gang banging and gang related. So like, am I going the right way?
No, yeah, turn around and go back.
All right, come. You got, even with the gangs, you got intermingling with the gangs. You'll have, so-called Negroes. They'll be in the Mexican gangs. You got, so-called blacks to be Latin Kings and MLDs, certain little gangs, and then you'll have Mexicans being GDs and so on and so forth. All right, but back to what you were saying with the prison houses, and I've been to prison. You know, I've been to jail, and a lot of them people, a lot of the Edomite, a lot of the so-called white people that in there, a lot of them be confused in the faces too. So on top of the statistic that the majority of the jailhouses is minorities, so-called Negro, Native American, Latino. A lot of them the so-called white people, they be Israelites too. So that even greater magnifies that statistic. So Deuteronomy 28 it's a good thing. It's not a negative thing, because that's showing people who we are.
And it's really because they just try to because I mean it comes up every. Elder Pastor Hart was keen on. He said, "What, you change your doctrine up every 3 months?" You know, first it was this, then it was. I stopped. Basically, really, what I stopped. I really stopped paying attention when you said America wasn't the Babylon. You said the Vatican was Babylon or some shit like that. You know, that's when I really stopped paying attention. I'm like, oh yeah, it's no hope for nothing like that. And then